Happy Tuesday!
Hi, she's Chrissy.
And she's Sissy.
And we're
Chrissy and Sissy.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Let's go ahead and start out with this, y'all. We just want to thank y'all for just, subscribing, liking, sharing, following us on all our social media platforms that are at where it says
at the bottom of the screen.
At the bottom of the screen. Yeah, we don't want to do a long intro. We have an amazing lesson for us today. But before we get into the lesson, y'all already know, based on how the screen looks, Chrissy is back.
I'm back. I miss y'all so much.
You want to tell the people what's been going on? Because I said she going to have to tell y'all.
Well, I had to, we relocated. Chrissy&Sissy Central has moved. We had to move. It was a blessing, although I did not want to. I see God's hand in everything that He's doing. So we've located quiet area, like it. God is still good. It was an unexpected move and a quick move, but once again we came out victorious. We always gonna come out on the top.
Yes.
So
she being modest.
It's true. It seems like that I have been gone longer than a few weeks. It's just when I'm away from you all, it just seems like it's so long.
Forever. It's like forever.
Yes.
I was like, because the last time you saw us, technically was March.
It was March.
It was March. And now we're in this to be the video for the third Sunday in April.
Wow. So I've been gone basically since before Easter. I didn't do the Easter video.
No, you wanted that Easter. You was like, where are Easter lessons? We didn't have a Palm Sunday lesson.
Right.
But yes, yeah, she's back and
I'm back.
Had to move. And she actually still in the process of unpacking and stuff. But yeah, she just,
unpacking. So if you all see this, I can see it in here. So I don't know if you all can see it. I don't know if it's here. Yeah, here. This is actually a huge calendar that hangs up. At the other house, it was beside my desk. And at this house, it would be over my desk. It's a big, huge wall calendar. That's what that thing is right there.
So yeah, she got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, but we're going to get into this lesson today because we are so excited about this lesson. So, I mean, it just kind of go along with moving and one of my favorite things too. I'm going with the adult lesson is Nehemiah, the captive cupbearer, rebuilds a nation. And the teen or the youth lesson is a plan for restoration. Nehemiah and that wall. I remember doing a Bible, in the Bible app, we had not a challenge, but it was a plan, and it talked about Nehemiah because I looked up plans about organization. What does the Bible say about organization and planning?
Mm-hmm.
And Nehemiah popped up. So when I saw this lesson, I was like, oh, how are they going to go along with this? Now, we know the last lesson, we talked about Ezra, and we talked about, and we know we've been talking about the prophets telling the Israelites, the people, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, and also about having a repentant heart, being about that action, as we like to say. And then now we have Nehemiah, and we have the plan for restoration. Here we have Nehemiah, whose assignment, even though he was captive, his assignment was to rebuild the wall that will go around the temple that Ezra was building. So here we are, restoring. We got to remember there was a time the Israelites were captive, and now we're kind of going back out of that where it's like, okay, it's setting it back up. Now,
Mm-hmm.
think about it. We did a couple weeks ago. It was Resurrection Sunday, so we talked about Easter, and we talked about like that's how God brought us back into the fold. But here we are. Here we are talking about the prophets and how they're kind of laying the groundwork. Garden. So that groundwork, laying the groundwork. We see the product at the end. We see salvation, but here are the steps that it took, what we needed for to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about Nehemiah and his plan for restoration. And sis, want to talk a little bit about Nehemiah?
Well, Nehemiah, the thing that that sticks out in my mind about Nehemiah is that Nehemiah saw that the wall in Jerusalem had fallen. And immediately he had a desire and a hunger to do something about it. So he wanted to rebuild this. So what I'm getting from that is, since the pandemic and a lot of us being out of church for over a year, with us seeing the state that the church building, or not even the church building, but the state that the church, the church, the people are in, some of us have fallen away. Some of us have started to wanting to do our own thing. And some of us have we're used to what I've adapted with the virtual church service is the microwave service. So we're not as in tune with wanting to spend 2-3 hours in a church service, wanting to spend that praise and worship time. But if it was a lifestyle, it was something that we did all the time, not just Wednesdays and Sundays. Or when I was coming up, it was Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when I was coming up in the Grand Old Church. But since we're not the state that it's in, there should be somebody, a modern day Nehemiah, that wants to rebuild that wall. And I'm talking about a wall as far as a spiritual wall, one that will not fall. You can't knock it down, because I'm going to stand for Christ. I'm going to do what I need to do to build his kingdom. And that's what I'm looking at this lesson as being about, because it's about restoration.
Yeah.
Restoring what has been lost, what has fallen, what has went away. So it's now time for the people of Christ to come back to him. A lot of things is happening, and I have just been like so amazed, because even tying in with this lesson, it's just like things that I have experienced, and that the enemy has tried to come against to try to rock me from the loss of my grandbaby, then the loss of my godson, and then all of a sudden we had to move. So, but the spiritual wall, me, my husband coming together, and we're yet going to stand for Christ, regardless to what's going on in our life. And then God just revealing some things that, just making sure. Sometimes it's like a checkup. Let me check on your faith. Let me see if you still gonna believe me, or you still gonna stand, or you still gonna do what you need to do. It's just like so much stuff we could just talk about in this lesson, but restoring the wall, restoring what fell in Jerusalem, having a hunger and a thirst to rebuild, to want to stand, to want to be that example for the world to see, because a wall is a physical structure that everybody can see. You can literally see that. So once again, taking that and letting the life that you live for God be that visual aid, that's something that somebody else can see. And then just to share with you all another brief testimony, when we were getting ready to move, from our old address. Um, our neighbor that lived right across the street in front of us, she came out and she was just like all in tears because we were moving. And we were like, why is this affecting you? This is just somebody that we would just walk out, say good morning, hey, how you doing? And we would get in our car and go where about our business. But she came out and she would say that she saw us when we would leave home as a family during the time of church. She said, I would see you all on Wednesdays and Sundays leaving, going as a family. I would see you when you would have a lot of children over. And she began to tell me about one time I had the entire flag team over. We were out in my driveway doing flag rehearsal. This was before COVID. And she said that just really blessed her. And she just really just like feel and see the Spirit of the Lord working in my house. So we were blessing people from her just watching our life. So what if we was not that wall? What if we had other negative stuff that was going on? And she talked about how we never judged her son, and we was not afraid of her son because of some disabilities and things that he had going on, how we were always friendly and just doing stuff that we would normally do and not realizing how we were being a blessing in this woman's life. And and she was like this, because of that, she was like, don't be a stranger. Come by, visit me. If you see me in the street, please remember to pray for me. It was just like so much. It was kind of weird, but it was kind of like, wow, she's really watching. So once again, being that wall. And then we could use this lesson with what are some things that could have happened in your life to cause the wall to come down? And what do you need to do to restore yourself back to where you once were in Christ? Go ahead, sis.
No, all that is good because it kind of, as I always, y'all know my favorite saying is like, we're not just saved for ourselves, we're saved so we can get other people to be saved, because there are souls and lives that are attached to really what we're doing. It's just saying, being that wall. Nehemiah, I want to point out the fact that this is a plan for restoration. Nehemiah did not want to build this wall so that way he could be looked at as the greatest or get a lot of accolades. It was about, hey, this was torn down. We need to get back to a place like in adult lesson talks about. We need to get back to a place where we're having Sabbath worship, going back to church, and it could relate, and it does relate to COVID because hey, who's going to be that person that says, okay, let's go back to church, let's do this? But hey, when we left last time, it was about program this, program that, program this. Now it's going to be about souls this, souls that, and see the fact that Nehemiah has a relationship or had a relationship with God at the time. God spoke to him. He was not the likely candidate, but his heart was there. Because sometimes our heart is there, but it's not meant for us to do that. I always think about David and I think about Solomon. David had a heart to want to build a temple, but Solomon was the one that had to do it because blood was on his hands. So our heart can be there, but God first has to speak to us, because this wall or the restoration, the plan for restoration, it was not just about building a wall. It was about, okay, we need to go back to church, but we need something in place for when other people come to kind of be a set and a model, because we know when for one, they were coming together, and it's not about the we know it's not about the building, other stuff should be in place, but we're coming together because why? We need to practice just coming together, forsaking not to assemble ourselves. What's the next step? Because we see when Jesus came and we saw church happen outside. Church happened on the hill. Church happened while they were on the island and Jesus talked from a boat. So just that whole plan, but it has to start from somewhere. And Nehemiah's plan did not include the people of that time and not just himself. This was a plan because down the line, Chrissy and Sissy had to be saved. So all this was set in place so this could happen. And when God have us to do something, it's not about self, it's about other people. I think if this scripture rained on my heart, but It's in, I believe it's in 1 Peter, but it talks about how God gives us spiritual gifts, right? But to help one another. And I thought, oh my goodness, my gift is not for myself, so I can have it and go to bed at night. My gift is to help others. Whatever your gift is, and gift do not have to be young people preaching, singing, praise dancing. Don't have to be those three. It could be just the way your spirit is, the way you know how to talk to people. I talked about with the children one, being creative, because you never know. Like as Sis was saying, getting in the car on Sunday mornings and Wednesday nights and seeing other people come by the house and children come by the house, touch somebody. Never said more than good morning to her neighbor, but look at the life she built. That gift, because everybody can't work with children. Everybody don't have that zeal to want to get up and go to church. And now we're going to go through a time now that the saints are aware. You're going to see who are the disciples. Disciples meaning when my leader is not there, I'm going to still go. Because after Jesus left, the disciples, and the apostles, they set up the churches, they continued to go. It was, well, Jesus gone, so we just go sit back and play with our fingers. Who was going to go back into the church? Mission minded, ministry minded, ministry minded, not program minded. All right. One for a program. This was so we can have Sunday and wear our cute outfits no more. This is our hearts, our souls. That wall needed to be restored. Anything else, sis?
I think that was beautiful. That was beautiful. What I love about what she just said, going back into the church and not being about programs. Let's be about winning these souls. I would love it if when we go into the church, we're not worrying about, oh, she looks so pretty. Look at that dress. Look at that hair. Where she got that from? Let's wear something. Can we put on our work clothes? You know what I mean? When I said work, can we put on our work clothes?
Let's wear tennis shoes to church. Well,
I wear Converse,
but they cute.
Chuck Taylors.
And I started doing that because you be ripping and running. I don't got time to wear heels.
I'm moving. I'm wearing.
Yes.
Can we get back into the church to where if somebody needs for you to get down on the altar with them and pray them through, you ain't worried about, well, I don't want my heel to get caught in my skirt and tear my skirt. This is my new skirt. I just got this from Macy's. Let's put on our work clothes so that we can roll in the floor, so that we can help somebody else get delivered.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
This a whole
if the outreach team decides, hey, let's go out into this neighborhood. Let's win this neighborhood for the Lord. So I'm thinking, I'm in a new area, so I'm thinking that I may need to do some early rising, like getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and walking, get my stick, get my music in my ear and walk and doing some praying and some meditating in this neighborhood. You just never know what God have in store for you. Although, I was in my comfort zone. The house that I was in, that was going to be the house that I was going to stay in until I got ready to go to the Knox Ranch. And y'all stay tuned for the Knox Ranch so y'all can know what that's about. But until I got ready to go there, but God said, you've been a light here. You've been a light here. Now I need you to go and be a light somewhere else.
Hey, that's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And God has fixed it to where I can. It's just so many testimonies that I can just really give. God has fixed it to where, even though that was my comfort zone, it was my comfort zone, but I was like a stranger in that land for the simple reason I was like the only gardener there. So everybody kind of like had complaints about that. But when I tell you that there's a gardener here, a gardener there, gardener next door. So when I tell you a gardener there, it's like I'm just surrounded. Two of them have already come over trying to get my elephant ears. But anyway, it's just friendly people, and it's people that like the things that I like. Because I was worried about how are they going to feel about my sweet potato vines growing over the fence or whatever. The neighbor on the other side, are you okay with cucumber? A cucumber might fall on your side of the fence. If I get it before the worms do, it's gone. But that's the end of that, y'all.
That's amazing.
Restoring.
Restoring.
So let's just get ready let's put our work clothes on. When the church let's go in working. Let's build it. We need some strong people, we might have to change the youth explosion theme now. We might need to build a wall.
No, we was about to do it on the same thing. That'd be good. But yeah, let's go ahead and go because we may have to have a meeting after this, yeah. But but yeah, restoring the wall. I like what Sis said. Put your work clothes on. Get your go ahead. Let's get ready to rebuild this wall, yeah. Don't just stop here with the lesson. There may be something you get out the lesson too. Feel free to drop it down in the comments or write us on all our social media platforms. So you all don't stop here with us. We wish y'all a great Tuesday or whenever you're watching this video, and happy studying.
Happy studying.